Hey there, welcome back. Cardano versus Polkadot. A match. Man, honestly, why can't we all just get along? Why does there have to be one coin to rule them all? The one that makes them all work is going to be the winners. And if everybody can work with everybody, then really, who cares? And I think that's where we're going. But let's see. So let's start right here. Bitcoin. Man, a little bit of green in here. Look, it's not so bad. Don't be scared. Eddie's got you. We're back at what, 46? Ethereum at 15. It's not the greatest, but green is green. Look at that. Polkadot's up 11%. Cardano 9%. And you're going to see, I think Cardano and Polkadot really make runs. We'll talk about why, but first of all, if you really want to see a good video, like a good objective breakdown of Cardano versus Polkadot, check out this cat right here at POA Pool. It's a good video. It's about half an hour. It's worth the time. I liked it. So the top reasons behind this Cardano surge, and it's basically they got some news coming up about a hard fork. The Merry hard fork 127 rolls out, and it brings significant changes to the Cardano ecosystem. It's going to bring basically smart contract platform, decentralized finance, NFTs. It's multi-asset smart contracts. Let's see, smart contracts, decentralized finance, and non-fungible tokens. But that's a significant thing, and that's, the little pump is probably due to some of the hype for that. Here's some about the Merry hard fork if you want to go a little deeper. These links are below, just like always. Go ahead and make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification. You get these when we make them. If it's having a timely product is something important to you, that's the way to get it. We see Charles Hoskinson here. He's the guy behind Cardano, and now he's with Input Output Hong Kong. Why is Cardano pumping while other cryptocurrencies are slumping? And another reason for this, if we get past the NFTs and the hard fork, is a Dubai investment firm. They're turning $750 worth of their Bitcoin into Cardano and Polkadot. That's good stuff. And here we go. $750 million worth into Cardano and Polkadot tokens. Bitcoin.com news. I'll put this link below. You can check it all out. It's pretty good. It shows that people are willing to invest in altcoins now. And when, that money trickles down past Bitcoin and Ethereum, some of the first ones to go are Cardano and Polkadot. And that's not surprising, 3 days ago, though, Binance, it was the third rank. So see how you want to go with that. It's going to be a volatile market. These places are going to change, especially as things get more adoption or updates come out. Expect big movements with big success stories. And it's not just Bitcoin, other cryptocurrencies. And we look right here. They have Ethereum, Chainlink number 2, Binance number 3, Polkadot number 4, and Dogecoin, the doggy coin, number 5. There's not even Cardano on here. So it all depends on where the perspective is coming from. But currently, Cardano, now they're third. Cryptocurrency by market cap. Coolio. If we look at their roadmap, the Cardano Forecast 2021, we see they got the Goguen era running in parallel with Shelly. And we talked about the Merry hard fork. Let's see if we get down here. IOHK is right here. IOHK. That's where Charles Hoskinson is now. We mentioned that a second ago. That's a link if you want it. Again, that's below. The status of the roadmap, we see here the Goguen and the Shelly running in parallel with each other. One is for decentralization, one is to incorporate smart contracts. And then from then, we'll continue with incremental but substantial changes through Basho, the scaling, and then finally the Voltaire governance. One thing, see right here is IOHK. We got some Cardano partnerships with Georgia. Cardano signs a memorandum of understanding, and this was in 2019, where they confirmed an intensified in 2020 during a meeting at the World Economic Forum in Davos between the former Georgian Prime Minister and Charles Hoskinson. The partnership focuses on using Cardano blockchain to map the public administration and large parts of the Georgians' education system. So that's cool. And we're talking about not the state, by the way. Here we go, IOHK. The Goguen. Smart contracts aspect of the roadmap, and the Shelley are right here. The links are below if you want to dig into each of these aspects in a little bit more detail. And then we see right here, and I believe this is a paper by Charles Hoskinson, where it breaks down motivation, and it's the table of contents or whatever to the side here. And we can see different motivations, where it came from. One thing I want to get down is into the designing and layers. And, they're looking at the past and to the future. You cannot predict the future, so you got to build a little wiggle room. And that, that's good that it's an adaptable program, and that's why it will succeed. They're also trying to build a blockchain of blockchains. Polkadot advertises it as the blockchain of blockchains, but we know Cardano is definitely right there with them. That's the same kind of goal. They're more targeted towards maybe Japan, the US, and Africa. Polkadot's maybe more of a global, decentralized entity target. There's not. And then Cardano they have staking pools, which are a little bit less risky than maybe, let's say, the entry fees you would need for Polkadot. It's the entry barrier into Polkadot is a little bit riskier. But let's see, complexity is nice on paper, but simplicity usually wins, right? Too many moving parts, and you're going to have something that breaks. Too many cooks spoil the broth. It's kind of the same thing as number 2, but honestly, I think it depends on your cooks. If you got a lot of really good cooks, you can either have a great product, or everybody's so opinionated and they think that they're just the best cook that nobody can work together. So I think you're going to find out which way we go with that really soon. And I think there's a little bit of both of that going on right now between all networks. Once a standard is set, it will probably stick around regardless of whether it is suboptimal. You can see that suboptimal, my bad, with the railroads. So listen, the railroads were the standard. It was the main source of shipping your stuff, goods, stuff to build stuff to bring stuff back that we found where we built the stuff and all of that. That was it, ran railroads. That was your guy. And now, you still have it. And I'm not saying that it's an inefficient method. I think that we could use it better than we do for certain, but it's still here. But now we can fly it. That's quicker. It depends on the needs of the customer. And, that's going to be the key is you don't always have to fly everything if the customer doesn't need that. You got to balance those issues, and that's why the railroad is still around. And bad ideas can evolve into pretty good ones. Yeah, if you're willing to change and learn and grow. I think this is a fun paper if you want to read through. It's a good link. Global Crypto Investment FD7. We talked about how they're buying an increase in Cardano and Polkadot. And, these are the foundation of the new internet and the Web 3.0. And that's the thing is, the whole blockchain revolution, it was to decentralize everything and, get the internet the whole goal is to bring what the internet does over to this technology where it's not somebody in charge, it's everybody in charge. So, and leading the way are, Ethereum, Polkadot, Cardano. There's a lot of projects that are doing their parts. Polkadot, So Polkadot's a live project. They're up and running. And Cardano's, we're just at the hard fork and, getting through the roadmap right now. So maybe not quite as far. But it's kind of like an apples to oranges. Polkadot was based to be like an interoperability network. They were the blockchain of blockchain. And Cardano's adding things as they go. So let's look. We'll go look at their roadmap in a second. Governance, staking, bonding. So here's their stuff. But if we go through their roadmap, here it is right now. And this is Gavin Wood. Gavin Wood, he's the creator of basically Ethereum, Solidity, co-founder. He kind of knows what's up. Current phase parachain rollout. So that's like where we're at right now, getting them parachains, parathreads. Here's a parachain versus parathread. This link will be below. The Polkadot wiki will tell you everything you need to know about Polkadot and Polkadot projects and how things work and validators, nominators, the relay chain, and so on. So once you get past the relay chain and you're out to the parachain, parathreads, here's a little bit of difference. A big difference is basically one is a pay for play. That's your parathread. And then the parachain, that's the big one. That's the one people really want. You can see right here, these are your parachains. Parachain, parachain, parachain. And here are your parathreads. Think of it like buildings maybe. Each of these would be their own building. And, that company or that project or whatever owns that whole building or rents that whole building. And same here. And we're all in like a business development area. Building, and then this building right here, it's still a building, and it's still just as tall, it still has the same offices, but we've rented each of those floors out to different entities or different projects. Maybe one project has 2 floors, maybe one only gets half a floor, these guys share a floor, something like that, if that helps you get into the mindset of everything. And this is really good. Parathread, pay as you go, parachains. Explanation if you want a little more detail. When we get here, this is more of the Polkadot network, general design rules, consensus mechanism. But I want to get down to the diagram. Here we go. And here's your relay chain. Your parachain bridge, Ethereum. Parachain queues, input, output. If you really, it's a pretty good diagram if you want to read through and find out what all these are, and kind of, it helps you visualize all the content. Sometimes that helps me a lot of times. Okay, let's look at the Polkadot ecosystem. This was just last summer. We can see, the bridge, privacy, Internet of Things, DeFi stuff, smart contracts, Moonbeam. It's there's quite a few. We had Chainlink listed as just the only oracle. Gaming, we just had GameDAO. Plasma and Sealer were the only network scaling solutions. We were getting there. Kusama. Kusama is the Canary network. And see, that's the fun thing about Polkadot. And I think it helps give it a little bit of an edge in the competition, at least. Because it can test things on Kusama. Or if it has projects that are maybe why don't you try that on Kusama? If it succeeds, then we'll bring that on over to Polkadot. It's like a minor league team. They have a minor league blockchain set, ecosystem. Man, nobody else really, that's cool right there. I dig that. Now we look ahead just a little bit. I think maybe a month, and it's about the same stuff. There's a couple of different names. There are 2 different charts for different things. And now we're going to look ahead about 6 months, right? This will be right about the beginning, is December 2020. And it's grown quite a bit now. We're starting to see new projects. Look at all the different oracles. We have Kylan, Polka Oracle, ZK Oracle, Aries Protocol, Zeitgeist. We got some NFTs. Now we got Dago Finance. I like Dago. I like NFTs. I think all of it's fun. We got some Kusama again, Energy Web token. You can see that it's growing, and it's growing pretty fast. The bridges are growing. dApps are growing, smart contracts. Here's Moonbeam again. Kalupu, Edgeware. DeFi grew quite a bit. Let's see, was there gaming on this? I don't see it. I think we got PolkaSwap on here. We should. Yeah, PolkaSwap. This should be Polkastarter. We can see over here, we got Reef. And we saw Reef over here too. We should have. Anyway, maybe it's over here. Top Polka projects for 2021. A little bit more Dr. Gavin Woods, Solidity, Ethereum right here. These are your relay chain. These are all the Polka parachains. And this one just shows parachains and bridges. It doesn't actually show. You would just take one of these out, and that would be a parachain slot, or a pair of threads. Your pair of threads would fill in one for one of the parachains. Polkadot, exploring Polkadot ecosystem. Here's Kusama, the Canary network. Moonbeam, that's your smart contract deployment. Centrifuge is the protocol for decentralized finance assets. And this is your gateway to bring your real world assets into the decentralized financial markets to build your NFTs over real world assets and stuff like that. Edgeware is your self-improving smart contract blockchain. So here we are, smart contracts again. Polkastarter. Polkastarter's been doing quite a bit of stuff. We've talked about it before. A lot of Polkastarter projects are doing really well. Very bullish on Polkastarter. Exceed Me. I just did a video about Exceed Me recently. Gaming. Very cool. What else we got? Acropolis. So you can see we got some growth. And the slot auction, we talked about this too, where it's basically a candlestick auction where from here to here everybody does their auctioning, and then from here to here everybody bids what they think the true value is, and what they're willing to pay and stuff. And then at the end of the time frame, a random point generated from here to here is picked, and whoever had the auction at that time wins. So you can't get outbid at the last second. And some summary stuff. So here's a little preview. Wallet Investor, they compare Cardano, ADA, versus Polkadot, DOT. Comparison all time. And it gives some advantages. Price, it gives to DOT. The change in the last 1 hour, 24 hours, it's given those to DOT. Market cap, it gives to Cardano, but it doesn't, I don't think it lists one for DOT. So, and the supplies and stuff. So I'm wondering if maybe it's from lack of information, and it's just barely beating it out right here. Oh no, it's not. I thought that was an 8, but it looks like it's not a very good comparison just because of a lack of information. So here's Cardano versus Polkadot. And this breaks it down a little bit more. That video I gave you a link to earlier breaks it down really well too, very objectively. You can look more specifically. We'll direct just a few points on here. The scaling difference. Sharding and claims to be eventually able to do 1 million transactions per second. Cardano will use Hydra as a second layer solution that will scale to around 1,000 transactions per head, and with 1,000 heads, or the staked pools, could reach about a maximum of 1 million transactions per second. So that seems to be pretty much the number we're shooting for here. 1 million transactions per second between the two of them. And the interoperability between the two. So Polkadot focuses on interoperability, and they are basically selling themselves as the blockchain of blockchains. And they, more than they're more focused on it than Cardano is. And Cardano is, they want to be interoperable with the legacy native systems, like Ethereum, of the blockchains and other cryptocurrencies. And then they want to do this through integrating sidechains, smart contracts. So Polkadot supports smart contracts as much as whoever fills the parachain or parathread slot supports smart contracts. That makes sense. It's not really up to Polkadot. They're more the street, not the car. Cardano supports smart contracts natively, starting with Plutus and Marlow, and it's which will be released in February 2021. That's, I believe, part of the Mary fork. Plutus is complete, or it's part of that whole process that we talked about earlier. And then we go about decentralization. So it depends on your perspective, because overall Cardano is more decentralized because they have more pools, they have more wallets, they have more. However, dramatic pause. If you look at the difference, 1626, 300-ish, if you want to go that way, then yeah, Cardano definitely more decentralized. But Polkadot, on the other hand, being, the blockchain of blockchains, each of those blockchains is decentralized, and then the projects are decentralized, so they have a more decentralized project base. So on a more macro perspective of utilization, I think Polkadot maybe is more decentralized at the moment, even though they have less validator pools than Cardano, if that makes sense. And both have a strong community. So what would be really cool? We can see that there's Coinbase support. Coinbase, Cardano's been there. This is in 2018. People have been hoping Coinbase would get Cardano forever. It's a fact. And we know that Polkadot is now available on Coinbase as of December 21st, 2020. And this is my, to be fair for everybody, man, it would be cool. It'd be fair for everybody, I guess, except Ethereum. But release Polkadot and Cardano together as a pair right after they do their initial stock offering for Coinbase. Man, come out with your IPO and then drop DOT and ADA on Coinbase as listed for all of us fools to be able to just buy regular. And that would be really cool. And I think you would see both of these projects go sky high. Just that would be the first catalyst to see these things take it to the moon. I really like Cardano. I really like Polkadot. I really like Ethereum. I just really like cryptocurrency, man, if you can't tell. And I know you do too. Otherwise, you would not be here right now. So leave me comments below. What do you think? Who's going to win? Does anybody even have to win? That's really the deal, is why can't we just all win? All right, man. Cheers.